Hi everyone, welcome to Study Service Saturdays with Travel to Serve. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 skills you gain from doing community service or volunteer work, and you can put your thoughts in the comments about if you agree or disagree with my ranking system. So without further ado, let's go. First up on the list, my number one skill that you gain from doing service is good communication. When you have good communication, you are essentially a really good volunteer because you really need to speak clearly. I've worked on this. I twist up my tongue, and if you haven't noticed, but you need to speak clearly and listen to the other people that you're working with so that you can build a relationship and trust with each other, so that it makes your life easier, and the people who you're helping would more appreciate your help if you take the time to get to know them, use kind words, and listening. So for example, if you are a tutor and you're tutoring a student, before you even make your plan, you should be getting to know, how are they doing, what are they struggling in, what techniques have they used before, and that will help you become a better tutor. Now, if you just are a tutor and you use the same generic presentation for every single student, well then it's not going to be as beneficial, to the person who's struggling and wants a more personalized session. So that's how I like to think about it. Simple, just by listening and being able to speak clearly, share your thoughts clearly, you can become a really good communicator. So what do you think is skill number 2? Number 2 skill that you gain. What is it? So all hands are in from every single person in this group. Do you know what that means? That means that we're working together as a team. Volunteering usually means that you're working with people. You're not by yourself. And being a good team player helps everyone reach their goals. So it's important to be respectful of the other people in your group, listen to their ideas, share ideas, collaborate, and this will make you so much better at volunteering. And as you volunteer more, this skill will become so much easier, and you might even be really good at team working that you don't even realize. You don't try, and you just are good. You know what I mean? Okay, so what does this picture mean to you? What do you think the skill you are gaining is here? You know how in those movies the therapist gives you a bunch of pictures, and based on your answer they judge they make assumptions about how you think and stuff. That's what I'm gonna do here. But what my interpretation of this picture is that we're showing empathy. You see how the brains are connecting? We are trying to understand the other person. So empathy and compassion are at the heart of volunteering. You have to try to understand the struggles and the joys or the positives of assisting someone. You know what I mean? So try to cultivate a meaningful relationship. I know I said that several times before, and you might be wondering how. I'll talk about how you can do this in the future. But for now, by volunteering, you're going to gain the skill of empathy. And I don't mean, I'm feeling bad for somebody, that sucks. Not that. It's just understanding how they feel and being compassionate towards them is an essential skill that you gain from doing volunteer work. It can be challenging because sometimes volunteering does evoke both, positive and just challenging feelings when you're working with people that you would hate to see someone in their situation, and they are in that situation. It's they're in a low part of their life, but you can be committed to making a difference, listening to them, just being a support system for those that you serve, and you will become compassionate and more empathetic. And that's a valuable skill. You might be saying, empathy, but empathy is a really valuable skill. Okay, so this picture screams another skill. We're at skill 4, and there's something missing from the light bulb. You don't know what it is, how to find it, but there's something missing. And it's your skill to figure out or think of a creative, wink wink, solution to making the light bulb whole. So the fourth skill that you can gain is problem solving. While volunteering, you're gonna come across various different problems or systematic challenges. For example, I worked at a food pantry, and just the mundane task of registering was a challenge, considering there was language barriers and people from different countries, and just asking, "Oh, what's your name?" Really posed a challenge, and you can use that to start thinking about situations. Or should there be a disabled lane for food pantry? But then what about people who've been waiting for hours, who come early and wait for hours? Stuff like that. What is your solution to that problem? It might seem, oh, registering names might seem like a small problem, but it isn't. It's try to be creative. Maybe you could create QR codes and people just take when you sign them in for the first time, you don't have to keep struggling with the same issue every week. Maybe they have a unique ID number and bring it to you and stuff like that. You're just gonna be creative, think critically and find innovative ways, and you will overcome some of the obstacles that you face while volunteering. So next up, oh, and look at this one. I feel like this picture is quite obvious. The one person is guiding everyone to the bullseye, to the right spot, and he's helping them get there safely. But look at that. I found this picture really interesting because even though there's this one big guy guiding the line, there's also somebody, the person in blue, who's also guiding another lady in to cross the line. So even though the big orange buff guy is the main one who's leading, there's still another leader within the group. So I thought that was really interesting picture. So you may be wondering why I put leadership so far down the line, because volunteering is being a leader. Just deciding that you want to help other people and go about finding ways to do so shows that you aren't just following my friend volunteer, so I just want to go over her and hang out. You're actively deciding, oh, I want to do this, and oh, you can come along with me. I want people to come volunteer with me, and that's what being a leader is. Even while you volunteer, you can be a leader. So even in the sense of getting to volunteering is being a leader. And then when you're actually in it and you're managing a project or supervising a team of volunteers, you are a leader. You become excellent at motivating others. That's what it's really hard. You have to find what motivates others and make sure that everyone's being productive and your team works in the best way possible. And I think volunteering is a great way to start to build this skill. To start to build a skill. Okay, this one, depending on the person, could be number one for them, or for me, like people like me, it could be down here at 7. So I really am interested in hearing what you think time management ranks in the equation, because as a volunteer, balancing your time is valuable. For instance, I'm a student. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. I'm a girlfriend. I'm all of the above, and I have to balance my work, my academics too, along with my personal downtime, along with doing other activities for the school, being involved on campus. Being a student in general is a lot. Being a university student in general is a lot. And then setting time aside to volunteer, that's a big commitment. So balancing your time, planning and prioritizing your tasks so that you dedicate enough time to each thing that you want is really important. And I think by doing the act of just doing volunteering really builds a skill, because you have to set time out. You have to try to be consistent or at least, oh, every once a month I want to go on walk dogs. Okay, that was a really weird example, but every once a week I want to go to volunteer at a food pantry or whatever the case is. Setting that aside the time, even though it might be hard, being consistent is really fulfilling. So I felt like time management is number 6 on the line for me. Okay, we're past the halfway mark. I know we've been past the halfway mark, but I'm gonna keep the next few rapid fire. So I'm balancing on a clock, on a unicycle, with a bunch of different tasks to do. Being volunteering requires being adaptable and working in a dynamic and unpredictable environment. You don't know what, sometimes you might be working at a specific organization and you do the same thing every week, and then there's just that one week where a different situation happens and you have to be able to embrace the unexpected and change, be adaptable, flexible. How you handle a certain situation is just going to change, and I feel like volunteering gives you that skill. So adaptability, flexibility, number 7. Okay, simple. You gain technical skills. Depending on where you're volunteering, you're going to gain actual skills. Let's say you're volunteering to teach. You're going to learn how to teach. Let's say you're volunteering to help people learn how to play chess or help people find their college of choice. Anything, whatever the case is, you are gonna gain technical skills in the field that you're volunteering in. So I want to keep that in mind. Are you proud of yourself? I felt like my 9th skill was gonna be confidence. And as interesting as it sounds, I feel as though confidence is a skill that you will gain. When you help people and you mentor and you guide, you get more confident in your views and the things you say, because you have to back them with reason. When you're telling people, oh, I think that they're going to want to know why. And I think when you're able to explain that communication really well, you become confident. And I think that was really important. You start to have a positive attitude, and that leads me to my last and final point. You have a positive attitude, you brighten the room, and I think that's gonna help you with drum roll please, networking. You never know who you're talking to. You never know where you're gonna meet your next employer or employee. I mean, if we're big up like that, if we got it like that, your next employee. And I think just the way you present yourself, if you present yourself with confidence, a positive attitude, all of the skills that I mentioned before, all of the 9 amazing skills I mentioned before will help you network and hopefully land a job. I'm hoping for all of you. I want to end off here and say that I wish you all the best. Please stay tuned. More content is coming soon. Please follow me on Instagram at Travel to Serve. And I hope you found this video to be valuable.